This video is made possible by our loyal Patreon supporters. Visit patreon.com.
Hey yogis, welcome. I am so excited to give you another 10-minute video, and this one is all about your spine. Low back pain is something all of us have experienced at some point in our life, and if you haven't, you will. Mark my words. So when it comes to spine and your range of motion, it's definitely a use it or lose it type of situation. You want to make sure that you keep on moving. And if you are in a place where you don't have an acute injury, so there's not something specific that's wrong, but you just kind of have generalized low back pain, you gotta keep moving, otherwise it's never gonna go away. So in this video, we're going to make your spine feel nice and fresh in 10 minutes. All right, so come to the top of your mat, bring your feet about hips width distance, and I want you to give yourself a nice base of support here, put a little softness in your knees, and just move your hips side to side just to get things loose. So often if we're stuck, maybe at the desk, kind of move your hips back and forth. That can feel like, oh, I'm stuck and basically my body has become a chair. I've molded into my car seat, or I've molded into my office chair. We don't want to feel like that. You want to feel like a human being. All right, so once you kind of get a little bit loose, yes, wiggling your butt around can help your back. This is true. Bring your feet about hips width distance apart, interlace your fingers, flip your palms up. We'll take some standing sun salutes, so we won't go all the way through chaturanga, but instead we'll take half salutes or just some standing salutes. Soften your knees, forward fold, drop your head. Knees soft is really essential here, especially if you are working with a lot of tightness in your spine, especially your low back, because the more you bend your knees, the more slack you're gonna give to your low back, and you're gonna feel that release kind of creep on up. Good. Fingertips to the ground or hands to your shins. Halfway lift your chest. Breathe in as you do so. Take your shoulder blades away from your ears. As you exhale, allow your belly to fold back over. Good. Come on up. Flip your palms again. And this time you're going to take a little side bend before you go back down. Lift your right ribs up. If you feel really stiff in your legs, I want you instead to feel engaged, like you're pushing down through your feet and lifting up through your low belly. Take it up and over to the other side. Reach your left ribs up to the ceiling. It's kind of counterintuitive. We kind of think, oh, if I have low back pain, I should just stop moving. That's the worst thing you can do. You probably have gone to the doctor at some point and they ask you a little bit about your exercise regimen, and if you have none, they give you a look like, well, you really need one. Everyone needs to move their body. Take your fingertips to the floor. On your inhale, halfway lift your chest. Take your shoulder blades back. On your exhale, fold, bow, release your head. And that's not just to keep your ticker healthy, your heart healthy, but it's also to keep your body mobile. Press down through your feet, flip your palms up. Good. And then take your hands to your heart and turn over your right shoulder. Allow your hips to swing a little bit. A lot of times in yoga, you'll hear a teacher say something about squaring your hip. I don't want you to worry about that. Instead, I want you to rotate where your spine allows you to rotate. And if your hips need to move a little bit to make that happen, do so. Come back through the center and then take it to the other side. And why is that? Well, that's because our pelvis and our spine are connected. And if our spine wants to move when we're twisting, take it back to the right. That's because it needs to. Take it back to the left. Good. Come through center on your inhale. Flip your palms, reach up. And now we'll come into our first longer hold. Bow over your thighs. Heel toe your feet about mat's width distance, so a little bit wider than outer hip. Hang your head straight down. So for a lot of us, this bowling ball on top of our neck is plenty to create some release through the spine. The more you bend your knees, sort of the heavier you're going to feel, and that can be a really nice sensation. If you do need a little bit more for traction, interlace your hands and place that hammock of your hands right at the nape of your neck. Wrap your elbows in, so your elbows come in towards your eyebrows. Drop your head down. There's no need to pull. Your arms are already heavy. They're doing some work. Allow some release to come into the body. Take a deep breath in. And relax your fingertips down to the floor. Take your right foot forward, Step your left foot back. We'll come into a little lunge here. And in your lunge, give yourself a lot of space today. So your hand might even come off the mat or come all the way to the edge of the mat. Left hand down. And you'll turn and reach your right arm up. Push down into your feet so your butt stays elevated. Move the chest forward towards the front thumb. And then turn your heart towards the top thumb. Take a breath in. Release your right hand down. Release your left knee down. Come on up to a kneeling crescent. Reach the arms up. And then interlace the fingers, place them on your thigh, plunge the hips forward, just enough that you start to feel a hip flexor release, but not so much that you're crunching in the low back, right? So there's always a sweet spot. Good. And then bring your hands back down. Step back to down dog and pedal out your legs. So we have this really complex system of our hips, our pelvis, our spine, and how those areas of our body work with each other so often dictates our comfort level in our postures and whether or not we are experiencing something called low back pain. So you can't just say, I need to address my spine. You have to address all of the areas to release some of that. Good. Hold a down dog for a moment. Press into your hands. Hike your butt way up to the very top corner of the room that you're in, and then drive your heels low and get a nice release through the back of your legs. Great. On your next inhale, look to your hands. Step your feet wide again, a little bit wider than your hips. We'll take a second set of that forward fold. Knees are bent a lot. The belly can drape down between your inner thighs. Drop your head. This time, grab for opposite elbows. You might have enough room that you can grab for opposite triceps, but for most of us, just grabbing our elbows is enough. Trust your weight to tip towards your toes and allow your head to hang completely. So the very top of your head should point to the floor. If this creates a lot of sensation in your neck, it probably means that you need to do this. But make sure that you're only going as far as you can breathe. Take one more inhale. And release your fingertips down on your exhale. Your left foot will stay forward this time. Your right foot's going to lunge back. And again, give yourself plenty of space today. Right hand can come wide or even off the mat. Turn your left arm up. So if you feel your hips sagging, I want you to zip the belly in. That's spine support. We need it. Press into your feet and lengthen. Lengthen always before you twist. The length puts some space between your vertebrae. That way when you do twist, you're twisting with space as opposed to just crunching or smooshing little parts of your spine together. Usually that doesn't feel good, right? Your body tells you no thank you. And release your hand down. Place your right knee down. Come on up to your kneeling crescent. I love this posture for releasing the psoas. It's a major hip flexor and spine stabilizer. Hands can come down to the thigh. Allow the pelvis to drop forward to a comfortable and controlled range. I use this for what we consider hip range of motion, but it's also essential for our spine because our psoas is this intrinsic muscle. It's very, very deep. It works with your spine, it works with your pelvis, it works with your hips. And so you really can't talk about anything going on in the lower body without also addressing our psoas. Really good. Release your hands. Step back to dog and pedal out your legs. Take another breath here. Really push into your hands. Feel a lot of length from your hands all the way to your tailbone. And then come on down to your knees. We'll take a seat. So as you come down to sit, you can decide which way feels most normal, which shin in front, but I really want you to find a lot of rooting through your sit bones. So if you notice that your knees are really, really high, like they're coming up into your armpits, sit on a block or a thick pillow, because that can just give you a little more comfort. So as you come to sit, root down, lift the chest up, reach your arms up overhead, and then we'll take a final twist over to the right, moving the chest through and up. It feels like you're picking up your waist off your pelvis. So you got that really nice length through your spine, essential for your yoga practice. Drop the back shoulder down just a bit. Turn your gaze over your back shoulder. Remember, your neck is part of your spine, so we need to involve it as well. Good. Come back through the center. We'll take the other side of that twist. Sitting up really tall, root into the sit bones, lift up through your crown, and then turn your gaze over your back shoulder. Goodness gracious, I can notice how much easier it is for me to turn in one direction than the other. And that's just habit, that's just the context of life, right? How we live shows up in our body. Yeah, come back through the center. Loop your shoulder heads back, lift your heart, lift your crown, lift the corners of your mouth. Your spine should feel absolutely fantastic. This is the kind of work that I do literally every single day. I do some sort of movement for my spine. It is our central channel of life. And if our spine feels icky, we feel icky. So if you can take just 10 minutes for yourself to move your body through a little bit, you are gonna feel excellent. And if you are a yogi that has an advanced yoga practice, you can't ignore this stuff either. You absolutely have to have it when you are working towards more of the advanced asanas. So thank you so much for taking time for yourself today. I'm so glad that you joined me, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.
Introducing Yoga Plus, offering a free series every month with over 300 different videos. Take control of your health. Work out anytime, anywhere. Yoga Plus. Download now for free.